What do you think this will make to the wheels?
How much mousse you running?
I would like
to make 1,200. You can make 1,000.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
I want to make 1,000.
Just have
1,000 horsepower.
Jeez. 1037.
So what do we have here? Explain to me what is going on in this short block assembly.
So we sell this the most. This is a MazWorks short block that's already pre-assembled. This is a MazWorks like 1200 package. So you got CP pistons, Brian Crowder rods, Trend wrist pins, a stock crank. It's going to be a 9.0 compression. So a pretty basic street driving short block.
So it's basically the best engine that they're going to build here, just saying like it's mine, so they're making extra power for it. Dude, they did a great job on this. It looks pretty freaking awesome, man. Like,
yeah.
I am stoked on this, and I am excited to learn from you about this engine because I have very little experience with this. Even though all my years of working on cars, I never really spent a lot of time in this area.
Sure.
I've always spent the time swinging hammers because it's fun to be able to hit stuff with a hammer, especially when you don't like it.
Sure.
So, you know, get a lot of anger out that way. So.
Well, some people will say this is an old truck engine. You know what I mean? They'll throw that out, a big cast, heavy engine. So, but there's a lot of little tips and tricks that I can show you throughout the process.
And then when they get passed by the old truck engine, they can wave as we go by.
Exactly.
All right, really quickly before we get started, I want to talk about some of the parts that are here on the table because a lot of these have been supported by these companies who really see the vision of this car and this thing moving forward. I'm super stoked about it. And one of the things that we'll start off, well, I guess we'll start off with the top end. So the top is Plasma Man. Plasma Man came through and they really hooked it up with this. They gave me a discount and gave me all these parts like that. I mean, they were super fast and the quality of them is chef's kiss. The head, we bought a brand new head, and this was all done by Dave over at Head Games. He did an amazing job. Awesome people, as you saw in the last video, or if you watch the channel, you've seen when we built this, it was a really cool process to experience and an awesome time with those guys there. So we have all GSC parts in here. That has all been provided by GSC. Thank you so much to Greg over there. This is awesome. We have S2 cams. It's going to make a nice little chop noise. Probably not extreme as the Evo is, but really cool. We have a ton of PHR parts on this thing. So we've got a cam gear. We've got our bolt and cap. We have the banjo here and a bunch of other parts going on in this section here. There's a lot of OEM Toyota parts being replaced. And then as we go to the block, like I said before, we have CP pistons, BC rods, King bearings, and a bunch of the really cool fittings that are tapped in from MazWorks. Super stoked on this. I think it's time that we get started. Oh, you know what? Gotta give a shout out to my boy on Saturday, last minute. Hey, can you powder coat some parts for me? And he goes, yeah, if you get out of the way, I can do it. So thanks a lot to John. I'm stoked. Let's get started. He's gonna go ahead and make sure everything is clean and that we have no dirt or debris inside of the engine. And I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about the car that is going in because it has always been the dream car of mine. So I have always wanted this car. This was the unattainable dream car. I bought my dream car, which was the Evo, and built that car, but I never thought that I would have a Mark IV Supra. I have a 1993 Mark IV Supra that was quite possibly one of the worst in the world. And let me tell you, when I say worst in the world, everything on this car had to be repaired, fixed, replaced, or sourced from some other country. Now, this car has gone from possibly one of the most clapped out cars to now one of the nicest Supras around. And I don't say that it's the best because I don't believe there's anything that you can do that is the best. There's always someone that's going to do something better. But this car is truly my dream car now, and it is going to the spec that I love. And if you guys want to see more of what this car looks like and how it came from being the worst Supra to one of the nicest, go check out my channel. It's called Jack Builds It, and I really appreciate everyone coming by. Just leave a comment, say hi. I always respond to everybody there. Thank you guys for watching this. Thank you to Real Street for keeping it real and coming through on this engine, because these guys have come through big time for me. I can't do this by myself. I do a lot of the collision and fixing and all that stuff, but having guys like Brian here to help me with this stuff is clutch and crucial, because we're about a month out from SEMA and this car will be at SEMA.
One thing you don't want to do is lose this if you're going to degree your cams, because this tells you your center line. One thing I like to do is, even though these are brand new, should still clean them.
So I'm assuming this is the VVTi head or side, because it has the holes.
Yep.
So what is this? Is this like a trigger?
Yeah, so this is where your cam sensor picks up off of. If it were a non-VVTi cam, you would have 2 locations. But VVTi has just have 1.
Okay.
So you could go off either one depending on ECU and firmware and whatnot, but you only have 1. So that's all you have to really deal with. Try not to squirt my eyes.
Safety squints.
I don't see any crud, so that's good. That got me. Blow it out with a little bit of air.
Safety. Safety first. He's squinting.
Coat the lobes.
There we go. She's lubed up.
Yeah, this is a very nice head. I noticed that the runners are imported, but the chambers are. Can you go in a little more detail on what the parts are in this?
So this is all GSC parts. You got GSC valves, springs, guides, and everything has been cleaned up. And the top section here, from what I remember what we talked about, is because I'm going to be running pump gas on this sometimes and making some, making the jam is what the kids say. But it's going to have issues where it could possibly detonate on the hard lines and the edges that are in here. So to solve that problem, what Dave has done is he's gone through here and cleaned up all those edges, as well as done a valve job on this. So we didn't do this because it's not going to be living over 1,000 all the time. It's going to be one of those things where I kind of dial it in when I want to give it the beans, and then the rest of the time it's going to live at a healthy 800, because that's it's not enough,
Cool.
Awesome. So factory multi-layer head gasket.
Yep.
How much power will the stock gasket handle? Like, is it pretty much every application they use these, or is there sometimes where
the
they go?
mid 1000s is when it will last? Yeah.
Mid 1000s.
Yeah.
Just a little
I'd say
mid.
around 15, 16, you want to start thinking of O-ringing or fire ringing a block. But when you go that route, it leaks oil out of the head gaskets because you're usually running a copper head gasket.
Makes sense.
So it's nice as a street car to just keep it an MLS gasket.
Yeah.
And
keep the engine bay clean and looking nice.
Yeah, and if you wanted to, let's say you have a dart block with 1/2-inch head studs, a machine shop can open up the holes in a stock MLS head gasket to use with a 1/2-inch stud, which is a nice second option. Got some new dowels in here. If you buy a new block from Toyota, they'll come with dowels, but if you don't, they're not expensive. So it's a good idea to just change them. You'll hear when it's bottomed out, the tone of the noise will go away. So you'll want to see that the oil feed hole that goes from the block to the head is on the head gasket. If you put this on wrong, you'll see that some of the coolant ports won't line up either, or the oil drains.
Do you wash these?
You clean the threads with brake clean. So if you want to clean those, set them on top and just spray the threads. Okay, so now we're going to apply ARP lube to the threads. You have 2 ends of the stud. We're just going to apply ARP lube to the end that you use the Allen key to tighten it into the block. The threads that go into the block themselves will just get a little bit of oil. These are a deadhead hole, so you don't want to apply too much oil, because we all know what happens if it compresses. It will crack the the block. So we don't want that. So I usually just take a little bit of ARP on my finger, smear it on the threads.
There it is. Here she is.
Beautiful.
That ain't going nowhere. I got a question for you though.
Sure.
So every time I've heard people talk about head studs, they all have different opinions on how to install them. Because I've heard that you bring it all the way down to the bottom and then you back it off a half a turn.
Yep.
Okay, so that's the way you would do it.
Yeah, so I bottom it out and then I turn it a quarter turn. I loosen it a quarter turn from, so it's in its neutral state.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So then that way it's not going to turn and push down on top of that block.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Question answered. What do you think this will make to the wheels?
How much mousse you running?
I mean, I would like
to. You can make 1,200. You can make 1,000.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Want to make 1,000.
Just have
1,000 horsepower.
Just have a toggle switch, you know.
Okay.
Then you can change your modes.
Okay.
You could have a keypad, but you can do a toggle switch too. So normally what I do is I'll just mark it parallel with the valve. So when I put this back together, I know it's in the same alignment. There's also a dot here. The dot should always face the engine or the plate, lubricating the oil pumps. So I like to take them apart every time I can and then put it all back together lubricated. Next, we're going to take the oil pressure relief valve out, make sure the piston slides, because if this was dry, that's going to be dry. So we're going to change that out and get it all fixed up. So PHR sells this nice cap with 2 O-rings instead of 1. So you get a little bit extra seal. So we're going to put this back in the vise.
Nice.
You should be able to just stick your pinky in there and pull it out.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble with this one. I got it, but it wasn't great. Just make sure that there's no flashing or nicks or anything from the manufacturer. And if you're in a rush and you want to just do this without taking it apart, at least just dump either oil or assembly lube or something into the fill hole in the drain hole and just spin the pump with your fingers.
To get it to at least lubricate a little bit.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot just being here, seeing you guys do what you do, and you know, what I do is doesn't seem as technical as this stuff, but definitely there's like a lot of knowledge here, and that's pretty cool, man. That's why I'm here, because you guys are, you know, you're the pros.
Learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, I swing hammers at cars, man. So you don't want to get near me. I'll just break your car.
Yeah.
I just sling mud and hammers. That's all it is. You know, just give me Bondo and a hammer, and I'm happy.
There you go.
How long does it take usually?
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
So if you run an aftermarket tubular exhaust manifold, sometimes you have to relocate your water neck. So PHR sells this nice relocator, and when you get a pump from Toyota, it comes with studs, but they supply these Allen bolts. So I like to take the studs out while the water pump is off of the block. So the next thing I like to do is I like to take this fitting off and tap it to an 1/8 inch NPT. This is an example. This is one that I've done on a used pump. And if you decide that you want the barb again, you can always just get a fitting with 1/8 inch NPT and just have a barb on it, or a -6 AN, -4 AN, whatever your liking is. Okay, next we're going to install the gear for the timing belt. You'll see this is a non-VBTI gear. This has 12 teeth on it. And what happens a lot is these are two pieces, so the reluctor wheel is separate from the hub. And you want to tack weld that if it ever slips, you'll get a timing correlation, or your timing will be off for your sensors. So a VBTI gear that's from the factory doesn't have that same two-piece design. It is a little bit different, but I do like to go with the PHR version because, as you can see, the teeth are a little bit sharper. It's just a nice billet piece to prevent anything from happening. I just wanted to show you, so this hole for the tensioner is a through hole to the pump. So if you don't put red Loctite or blue Loctite, whatever you prefer, it will leak. When you get a factory bolt, it will come with a little bit of Loctite. I like to add a little bit more of my choosing to the other threads that aren't coated. And if you have a used one, just clean it off with a wire wheel like so, and then just apply your thread lock, whichever you prefer, blue or red. Just wanted to note that because that can be an easy mistake that you forget, and then you'll get an oil leak and it will come out of your front cover, timing cover, and you'll wonder where it's coming from. Usually most people think it's the front main seal right away, and then they'll do the seal, and then it'll still leak, and it's just a good practice so then you don't deal with all those problems.
surface too, because it's still at 18 pounds. Now you can never say that we didn't make 1,000 horsepower with this car. This is absolutely insane. It's gone from literally the worst Supra to one of the nicest, and now it's making the power that it should. This is insane. This is insane. I cannot believe the fact that we actually did this. This is the guy behind the camera is recording me right now. Dude, I am so happy. This is crazy. And the feeling and expression I cannot give you guys, it doesn't come through enough on camera right now. Like, I am so stoked. Dude, this is awesome. Mark, thank you so much, bro. No problem. This is freaking awesome. Devin, there we go. There we go like that. Brian, dude, thank you so much. Devin, this is awesome. All right, let's keep going. I saw a big number. Jeez!
1037.
Dude, let's see. I haven't seen it yet. They're cheering already. Okay, here we go.
That's it.
Yes, dude, this is insane. I'm so thankful for everybody here. All of these guys have been extremely helpful. They've shown me so many things I didn't know about today, and they've walked me through this. It's been a pleasure being here. I can't believe we made this kind of power. We still have a long way to go. There's still so much more to do. We gotta keep moving, so let's keep moving. Let's keep moving forward. Awesome, guys. Thanks, sir.
Great job, boys.
Thanks, sir.
Great job, everyone.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Nice
Thanks,
work,
sir.
Devin.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, sir. Dude.